Hey YouTube, coming at you with a Great League team, and as the title said, in my opinion, there are only two electric Pokemon that are usable in this meta. I think, and they are the top ranked Pokemon, electric Pokemon on PvPoke. Let me just confirm that. But it is Morpeko and Stunfisk. And Morpeko is ranked 18 and Stunfisk is ranked 22. Togedemaru 31 and below are not usable in my opinion. So what makes this Pokemon good and bad, and why is it usable versus others not usable? I've already talked about this in another video. There's 10 Pokemon. The top 10 Pokemon on PvPoke, there's 2 doubles, so we'll ignore those. So out of the 8 top 10 Pokemon, 4 are ground. Clodsire, double resist electric. Diggersby, double resist electric. Gastrodon, single resist electric. Marowak, double resist electric. And so when you bring in Pokemon like Togedemaru, Electivire, even though it has Ice Punch, you're setting yourself up for like a loss, and you can't. It's very tough to overwork those Pokemon, like overcome this Pokemon. So there's only 2 Pokemon that are usable: Morpeko, which you can go Psychic Fangs the first time and then go Dark Aura Wheel the second time, and Stunfisk, where you can go just Mud Bomb. Now, as you're gonna see in these videos, first of all, you're gonna see these videos, like 3 out of these 10 matches, I think Stunfisk barely gets in because I like combo with Moltres and Walrein, even though they're both weak to Rock. They cover each other's weaknesses outside of Rock very, very nicely. The second thing is, this thing is spammy, good bulk, crap damage output. You're gonna see like matchups against like Dunsparce, where you need like 4 Mud Bombs to take it out. It is so weak. It is very spammy, as you can see. 10 to the first Mud Bomb, only 8 to the second. So this thing seems fast, but man, does it suck at damage. So that is my biggest drawback of this Pokemon, but it does have insane coverage, right? You have the electric for Alligator and Azumarill and stuff like that. And then you have the ground for like Clodsire and stuff. So right off the bat, we get a good lead here. I'm pretty sure this is one where Stunfisk only gets in to catch a move. But a good lead. So they can only throw body slams and they're not getting out. So I will just take these body slams. Not that body slams do not threaten me here. So going to basically just get to 2 Brave Birds. Throw the first. We'll see what they come in with. If they're staying in here, they probably are double weak to this. And right off the bat is a Jump Bluff. So figuring I'm only going to get to 1 move. Let's just go to the Brave Bird, grab a shield, take it out. And then I can get my Walrein on this. Double super effective against the grass flying. I will shield. They are at a move, and it is super effective. So shielding that up, and they're not getting out. So I'm like, okay, you're probably weak to ice in the back too if you're here running this. So going to throw this Icicle Spear and the shield, which just confirms to me that they're probably weak in the back to this as well. So commit that shield. Just an easy team read here. There's no reason to shield up Jump Bluff unless you have something in the back that is also weak to ice. So just going to throw this right away. Powder Snow Icicle Spear is a very fast spamming move. What's in the back? A Clodsire. So this game is over. I will chip here, and then the only thing you'll see is a catch on Stunfisk for no reason. But we'll get into some matches where it actually is more useful coming up here. So make a catch a Stone Edge. Stone Edge is resisted on the ground, so once I caught there, they know this game is over. Okay, here we go. Azumarill. So I'll save swap Walrein, and I remember this, they get out of a neutral matchup to go into Clodsire when I'm loaded. So I easily just flip switch here. But this is good because now you're going to see Stunfisk eventually on Azumarill and just sort of the problems I have with it. So why is this Pokemon now ranked so high? First thing is Thundershock got buffed. Actually, it's the only reason that it's ranked so high. Is Thundershock got buffed. So like Poison Sting getting buffed in the past, that buff is enough to now do more damage. And honestly, having played with it, you do see and feel that extra bit of damage. It's not a lot, but it's noticeable. Not when I get farmed down, I just come in here, basically going to sacrifice this, and then eventually go into Stunfisk here. They get into Azumarill. And so this is good because this is what I want to show. The Azumarill is already pretty low. not pretty low. It's already chipped enough that it's an easy 2 discharge here. But that's a problem. So like those Thunder Shocks you can see like on the Azumarill, those Thunder Shocks are adding up. However, a super effective discharge on a Azumarill that's already at 60% basically only gets it to like 30%, 28%, right? This thing does not hit hard at all, and it's worse in neutral situations. And you are weak to ice and water. So some of the water Pokemon that you hit super effective against, like Azumarill here, is also hitting super effective against me with Bubble and Ice Beam. And as you're gonna see here, Mud Bomb on a Primeape, which we know is super, super glassy. I do take them out in 2, but like barely take them out in 2 because this thing just does not have the damage needed to take out a lot of Pokemon. So another good lead, Diggersby. Again, if you're going to use something that's going to have problems with ground in general, with the electric resisted and taking super effective from ground because you're electric, having a flyer or something to deal with the ground is a pretty good like pairing. And then Wall Rain is my safe swap. So that was a thought. That was the concept behind the team. I do get a second Brave Bird off here. So I grabbed one shield. This will be the second Brave Bird. And it lands. So goodbye Diggersby. And they come in Toxapex, which is fine. I will now get into my Stunfisk. I believe they have double water in the back. But here we go. Perfect example. Buffed Thundershocks. Shadow for Alligator. They live a discharge and it still needs like 3 Thundershocks to take it out. They eventually quit because they got 2 electrics and I got shield advantage. But I was like 2 things weak to electric and I have a shield advantage. But like, this has always been the problem with this Pokemon. This Pokemon has always had good coverage that you just never use because it hits terribly. And here we are again, Azumarill matchup. Bubble super effective, Ice Beam super effective. So they take you to the yellow. And here I am here. I will take this to the yellow as well, but it's like a barely to the yellow. So they're still with over 50, like 48% health while I'm in the deep, deep red now. So now I got a shield. So is this Pokemon usable? Yes. I think that it has a lot of coverage. I think it's spammy AF. You haven't even seen like the Dunsparce matchup where you're just going to see how bad these neutral moves do. I do grab 2 shields here, so Azumarill does flip switch, which is fine. I'll shield this. Don't want to take a super effective, not a super effective, but like a hard-hitting play rough. And it is a Pangoro, so I'm hoping that this Icicle Spear takes out. And it does not, but I know I can just make an easy catch here because they kind of have to catch. They have to throw, right? Or else I'm going to take them out, so they kind of have to make that throw. So I'm able to make the catch, get off another Powder Snow, have some energy. The Azumarill pretty low. I don't know if I can farm it down, but we'll see. And it is a Clodsire. And now it is an Erase. And Walrein becoming meta again? I mean, if you have a Sandslash with Ice Punch buff, I don't think you need Walrein. But Walrein's good. Walrein's good. It's always been good. It just, in fact, they had to nerf Icicle Spear as a direct attack on it because it was so strong. And taking that out, and a Azumarill here, and I get to the move. So Walrein sweeping here in this match. My losses come when the Dunsparce shows up. So Licky Licky, rollout user. Again, I'm double weak to rock, so I just kind of have to stay in here. At best, they're going to have to throw body slams, which is good for me. Because it is a Licky Licky, so it doesn't hit too hard. But these rollouts, unfortunately, are adding up. So I'm probably going to throw my Brave Bird here, knowing I need to grab a shield or do some chip damage before these rollouts add up too much. And they let it go, so that's huge. And we'll see what they come in with. Vespiquen. So I was like, okay, I have no idea. Vespiquen. I said queen, but there's only, maybe it's Quinn, maybe it's queen. So I come in, it's a flying. I don't know how hard this hits, so I'm just like, I gotta shield this because I do not know. It has Power Gem too, so that's crazy. So I'm basically almost at 2 moves here, so we'll throw one. And and they shield, and it is a Hippodon in the back. So this is a spicy AF team. And again, we're barely even going to see Stunfisk here. So there's a couple matchups. Yeah, so I think I started like 5-0 with this team. And it was just, again, Moltres, Walrein, killing teams. That Stunfisk was barely used. And then I got a couple Dunsparce, and I'm just like, okay, this is tough for this entire team. And I lost those 2 matchups. So those losses are coming up. So they take out that, and I come in and Thundershock down. Clodsire, another good lead. And maybe this is where they stay swap Dunsparce. Nope, not yet. So I'm staying in, and they're staying in, and they're throwing here. So I shielded the first one, I think, because I was like, it could be Stone Edge, and I don't know what the move is yet. So they show that it's not Stone Edge. They show it it's Sludge Bomb. And out comes the Dunsparce. So I'm like, okay, let's try and chip or grab a shield here. And then at best, I have this matchup. Now, I know Drill Run's super effective, but it's non-step. And you're going to see, you're going to see the strengths and weaknesses all at once here. Drill Run, easily live. And roll it as resisted. They need to throw 3 Drill Runs. However, I need to throw like 4 Mud Bombs here. As you're going to see, does almost nothing. These Thundershocks are helpful, adding up a bit. But we're going to have to... The Sucker Punches, the only reason I don't have to throw 3 here, I'm not even going to get to a third, but the only reason I have to throw 3 here is because the Sucker Punch on Moltres did enough. Anyways, they come in for Alligator and just farm me down. Now they have energy. I'll try and eat it on Walrein here. But yeah, that was... I think one of my other losses against Dunsparce, you're going to see it like straight up without any like chip damage. And it just, yeah. The moves are not good in neutral situations. So, why would you use this Pokemon? I think you can use a Pokemon that if everyone's hunting Clodsire, some of the things that hunt Clodsire are like ice types, like Dugong and or flying types that have like ice moves, or just flying types like Drifblim. Jeez, I don't know why I blanked on the name. Drifblim. So having that, or Sandslash. So having all those hunting Clodsire where you have a bad matchup with Clodsire, Stunfisk actually does good to neutral to good against all those, because you can hit super effective with your Discharge or your Mud Bomb. So I'm going to agree with people, I'm sure. My favorite game. Let's go to YouTube and see how many people have promoted the crap out of this and what they're saying about this. So I've seen a couple Stunfisk. So Vergiverg, a shocking buff makes Stunfisk meta relevant. And Homeslice called this a neutral matchup king. Buffed Unova Stunfisk is a strong core breaker in the Great League. I agree, it's a core breaker. Like I just said, you can deal with a lot of the top meta Pokemon and the counters to them. You can for Alligator. Think about all the water for Alligator. Zoom Roll. Sandslash just come in. I am weak to ice, but also I have a Drill Run, Mud Bomb, which is super effective. So I have coverage here. You have coverage against your flyers like Drifblim. You have coverage against your Clodsire with ground. They catch on a Drifblim here, nice catch, but now I still have the electric, right? So I agree it's a core breaker. I don't know if it's a neutral matchup king. Let me just look up the matchups here. So this is tough. So first of all, you do win for Alligator and Azumarill, your water Pokemon, but it's barely. Like you beat Shadow for Alligator as a 505. So it's close. And you actually only beat Dugong 502 because they are also hitting super effective for you. When I say a neutral matchup king, I like Pokemon. So a neutral matchup king to me means if you're doing neutral to them, they're doing neutral to you, you win the majority of the time. And here we are. The wins are Dugong, Drapion, which you can hit with the Mud Bomb, for Alligator, which you can hit electric, Drifblim, you can hit electric, Marowak, which you hit with ground, Clodsire, which you hit with ground. And here are the losses on just the other side of 500. All the neutrals. Lost to Wiggly. lost to Cressola, lost to Shadow Machamp, lost to Primeape. Guzzlord is half dragon, so we'll ignore that. Lost to Pangoro. Lost to Dunsparce does have Drill Run, but lost to Dunsparce. Cresselia does have Grass Knot, but lost to Cresselia. So it's just like lost to Annihilate. Like your fighters, Annihilate, Pangoro, Primeape, Machamp. Your Ghost in Corsola, and your Wiggly as a Charmer, normal. And then yes, Dunsparce to a certain extent because you resist the roll up, but taking super effective from draw. So that's kind of a niche, an interesting one. But you're losing all these. This is not. I'm sorry, Home Slice. Love you, love your channel. I also love that you get like 2.5 more times views than Youngest. It's not a neutral matchup king. In fact, I would argue the exact opposite. I would argue that in neutral matchups, it does poorly because it just does not hit well. So that's my take on it. And again, you're going to win when you're supposed to win, and you're going to barely. So the waters are kind of interesting one because like they hit super effective into you. So those are kind of like a wash. So it's nice that you win those, but because they could go either way. But you're going to win when you're supposed to win. Win against your Flyers, Mandibuzz, Talonflame. Win against your stuff weak to ground, Toxapex, Clodsire. And then you're going to lose against the stuff that's obviously going to kill you. Grass, ground, like Superior, Chestnut, Gastrodon, Marowak. Those are obviously going to kill you. And then there's the neutral matchups. And you are losing the neutral matchups. So does it core break teams? Yes. Like look at these wins. Dugong, Drapion, Feraligatr, Drifblim, Azumarill, Clodsire, Licky, Ariados to a certain extent is out there still. Toxapex, Malamar, Mandibuzz, and no one uses Carbink. Talonflame and then Carbink are the other two. But so those are definitely some core breaker. Like this is definitely a core breaker. I agree. This is a core breaker. But just know that you will be underwhelmed in neutral matchups with how weak this thing hits. So that's my take on it. I still think it's only one of the 2 Pokemon that are usable as electric takes because with so many ground Pokemon that I've already mentioned, there's no play for the pure electrics. I'm sorry. Love you, Togedemaru. But I have always been great. Like, I'm not a great battler. Yes, I've hit Legend 18 times. But even in the last video, someone's like, you messed up the typings again multiple times. I'm like, yes, I know. I don't know all the typings. I don't count. I don't fast move time optimize properly. I'm not a good battler. I'm a great general team builder. Maybe not this team, but in general, when I'm trying, I'm a good team builder, and I'm fantastic at reading the meta and understanding what is strong in the meta, what is weak in the meta, and why. I find the core breakers earlier than most. This is my strength. Like, know your strengths and play to them. These are my strengths. This is why I think a lot of you are here. I do teach the game well, I think, even though I don't practice what I preach. So I do teach the game well. But again, it's just like kind of understanding the meta and why. And in fact, if PB Poke says he's going to delete Twitter, but he actually gave me a shout out. He says, if you want to watch, it gave me like 75 new followers on Twitter. He tagged me. He's like, if you want someone who actually is good at analyzing analyzing my PB Poke rankings and the meta and why it is that way, Dan Ottawa, he mentioned a couple people, but I was one of them because I think that is my strength. Like, I understand analyzing the meta and analyzing the Pokemon, and maybe it's my analytical brain, right? For those of you who are new to this channel, don't know this, like economics undergrad, master's in like public policy, working as like an analyst in the government for 11 years. Like, this is my brain. This is why the numbers are on the screen here with the turns. This is why the numbers are here for fast moves. This is why I always talk about energy per turn and damage per turn. You can get by without being a great battler if you understand a lot of the analytics and stuff behind this game. And that's where the strength is of me. And that's why I think, no, this is not a neutral matchup king. I think this is actually quite the opposite. And let's see if anyone else has put out Stunfisk. I don't remember seeing any others. No, a lot of people are focusing on the other buff Pokemon first. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this. And I think that just leaves me with Diggersby and Sandslash to go. So we will go test those out maybe for this afternoon's video, or maybe one-on-one. We'll see. And then when I'm done testing, it's going to start to not grind, but like start putting some. Maybe I'll do a 1 week analysis. Yeah, I think I did that last year and it was well received. So maybe on Monday before the league turnover, that's what I'll do. My Monday video will be like 1 week in, meta analysis. Where do I think are risers, fallers, overrated, underrated? We'll do that for Monday. So we'll do a few more teams Saturday and Sunday here, and then we'll do like an analysis Monday on that. And then is there any events that I need to cover? Because I like covering those events. Those are nice ways to break up what is otherwise just a lot of stuff. Yes, I saw this Wise event was posted. The Unova tours, no, I don't care about that. Unova, we've already done the Synesty. Gigantamax, no. Okay, when is this young event starting? Tuesday, December 10th. Oh, perfect. There's your second video on Monday. So Monday, we'll have a 1 weekend meta analysis, and then the afternoon will be this young and wise analysis, where you got a bunch of like I call them baby Pokemon. They're calling them young Pokemon, but it's all like the first stage hatching from eggs. Please don't tell me this is just an egg and raid. This is just an egg and raid. 1-star raid, 3-star raid, 5-star raids, and then hatching 2-kilometer eggs, hatching a bunch of these baby Pokemon and collection challenges. Oh, come on. Niantic. This is why people are going to play Pocket TCG. Because this is, they've always been, and look, they've always been, and this is just Dan rant time, they have always been a money-driven company, but it was never like this. Yes, they used to egg and raid lock a lot, but to see the progress, the change from 5-6 years ago to what it is today, like before, you'd get some egg locked. There was always some Pokemon that were egg locked, but some were just released right into the wild. You didn't have these weekly events, so you had like maybe monthly events, and you didn't have tickets every 2 seconds. And now you have weekly tickets, monthly tickets, egg locked everything, raid locked everything, spending money, like a membership type thing. Like they're literally trying to make money at every single turn they can. And some people will say they're a company, they're allowed to do that. Agreed. As an economist, free market, supply and demand. If you put out, you adjust your prices and you adjust your strategy based on the demand for your product. So if they egg lock crap and they raid lock it and they put everything behind tickets and people are buying, why would you stop? You're not going to stop because some free-to-play players complaining on the internet, right? I would 100% just ignore the noise. Like, you always have the loudest people on the internet. They always call it like the loud minority or whatever they call it. Where it's just like you always hear about the bad and you hear about these people complaining and stuff like that, while the majority of people still just go about their day and do and just like accept it and just do it. And I feel like that's what's happening here. Like unless you truly get Niantic Hear Us movement from across the board, they don't and actually change what is happening to their numbers. They don't care. And this is not changing, because I see it. Like the only people I follow on Twitter are Pokemon, not only, but like 80% are Pokemon Go people. And the amount of people that buy these tickets. Also, I need to shout out a member, level 2 member. Sorry for not shouting out earlier. This is hilarious because I'm just complaining about buying the ticket and stuff like that, and somebody bought me the monthly ticket. JE, I want to see if the members are the exact same. I hope your name in the members here is the exact same as what you are. And we got a couple more members. I got to shout out. Brian and Dwigs are new level 1 members, so thank you. Where are you, JE? Your name's not coming up on the membership list, I don't think. No, I don't see your name on the membership list. Well, like, it's probably on this membership list, but the members, what the membership name and what your in-game name is not aligning here. It's like JE and a bunch of numbers and letters. I forget exactly. But they sent me the December monthly ticket. I do appreciate it as a free-to-play player. But yeah, it doesn't change my feelings on... I appreciate it. I appreciate what it means. Doesn't change my thoughts on how Niantic is operating, given the change over the last 6 years. Anyways, that's enough ranting. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.